Yeah, it's the only matchup that really jumps off the paper at you. This is a battle of two of the best teams in the NFC. Let's just be straight with it. Lions versus Vikings. Um, it sucks that this isn't a primetime game. Would have been kind of a smart move. I guess not now that Devontae's in there, but it would have been a decent move to flex him out of this once the Vikings were doing so well, because I feel like this matchup has all the makings of a classic. You got a stout defense with a really great defensive mind, scheming their shit up. They're uh, almost no name defensive linemen on the Vikings are having just a ridiculous fucking season. Two of them are near the top in the NFL in sacks. So I can't even tell you their fucking names right now. It tells you how prepared I am. But the Vikings defense is running off no real star power, and they're fucking putting in work. So the Lions are going to have to work real hard, especially in Minnesota, to score points. And Sam Darnold on the other side for the Vikings, he's got tons of weapons to throw the ball to. So their offense is doing just enough, I feel like, to kind of get by. That's really going to get tested against the Lions, because if the Lions can score, the Vikings might struggle to keep up.
Do you think Aiden Hutchinson being out affects Detroit's defense significantly?
So I was watching a clip that was talking about it. Aiden Hutchinson had like over half of his team's sacks up until that point. So getting pressure on the quarterback needs to come from somewhere else. Obviously, if I'm giving my own perspective on it, take a page out of Spag's book and blitz DBs, like try to disguise your pressures as much as you can. Have guys lining up like they're getting ready to blitz and kind of back them away, and not let the offense know where you're coming from, because you really do have to compensate for your best defensive player, one of the best pass rushers in the league, being gone. So
Yeah, James Houston, I would think definitely has to step up, but I think this is a big loss. And as good as this Detroit team is, I one player's not going to make or break them. I think they're still going to be a good team, but when they come up against a team like the Vikings, they come up against these top tier teams in the league. Missing Aiden Hutchinson is, I think, going to be their downfall.
yeah, he's had over. I thought the video said he had over 7 sacks already this season. So like you're
Mhm.
missing that production and that pressure. And it, from what that was saying as well, it wasn't coming from very many other guys on that D line. So they're gonna have to switch some stuff up and really get opposing quarterbacks just kind of on their back foot. So
Did you say the Vikings offense was struggling to get by?
I said they were doing enough,
Doing just enough?
doing
Okay.
just enough.
So they beat the Texans 34-7. That's doing just enough for sure.
Texans
Um,
had a bad game, yeah.
okay, yeah. Excuses. Mike, we love excuses. So I don't think the Vikings offense is doing just enough to get by. And with the loss of Aiden Hutchinson, yeah, this I'm not saying this could I mean it could be a blowout. That would be very, very unlikely. But if it was a blowout, the Vikings would blow out the Lions. They've been doing that to people. And it's the NFL. Everybody gets paid to play the game just like you. I do think though, what you said about the defense of the Vikings, I totally agree with our boy Van Ginkel. Didn't he have another interception like a week after Tybo mentioned his name or something like that? Our boy Van Ginkel. He's got like he's got like two, I think, on the year, maybe even three interceptions on the year. He's fun to watch, but also do you think that's more of a product of his
Brian Flores. It's
yeah,
Brian
I was gonna
Flores.
say
I mean,
of
he's
like his
he's a
defensive
good enough
coordinator?
athlete to be in the league, and he's good enough athlete to be a starter in a place that needs him. But Brian Flores is putting these guys in amazing positions, like Harrison Smith, one of the top safeties in the league for sure. But over the last couple seasons, has been a very pedestrian safety, and he's showing out like an All Pro this year. Like let's just
Has
call a
Harrison
spade.
Smith not been a Pro Bowler before?
He's been a Pro Bowler before. I said over the last couple of seasons, he's been fairly pedestrian. He has not played very
Oh,
well
okay.
over the last couple of
Okay, I got
seasons.
you. Yeah,
You
yeah,
bring in Brian Flores, and now he looks like not just a Pro Bowler, but an All Pro,
yeah.
and he's going to get those bonuses. And so
Looks like
that's
fucking
just what
Ronnie Lott.
that's just what Brian Flores is doing out there. He's just making guys with some with little names and some with big names, and he's making them look real good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tommy, the Vikings have had 2 games this season where they have like actually outscored their opponent. Like we would call it a blowout game. They beat the Giants.
Yeah, that's a blowout. It's still the NFL. It's hard to blow a team out in the NFL.
They beat the Giants and they beat the Texans. Every other game has been 1-score games. The 49ers.
Yeah, they scored 30
the
points.
Packers.
They scored 30 points against the Packers. Is that just
and their defense
enough?
Their defense got 3 interceptions.
We're not talking about the
Their offense
defense.
is-
We're not
their
talking about the
offense is doing
defense.
just
We're not
fucking
talking
enough,
about the
Tommy.
defense.
Holy fuck. Shut up and listen for once, god damn it.
Oh, come on. We're not talking about the defense.
31-29 against the Packers. Their defense got them 3 interceptions, okay? Their offense did just enough in that game.
The Packers have a good defense. They scored 31 points. Not a lot of teams are doing that. That's doing enough. That's doing more than enough to win a football game. I don't need the defense to fucking like if I'm going to score 31, then who gives a shit? Whether it's 29 or 6, it doesn't matter. We're scoring 31 in the NFL. We're scoring 30 points in the NFL.
The success that they've had in those close games is heavily relied upon their defense. They have great weapons on offense.
We're talking about the offense.
Okay, I'm saying something about the defense to make my point about the offense, Tommy. Holy shit.
It seems like you're kind of talking about the defense.
Jesus. You can't have ball discussions with this guy because he doesn't fucking know it.
Take it easy, dude. Take it easy. Take it easy. Jesus. Finish your thought, for the love of God.
The thought is finished. You keep fucking interrupting me.
Oh, man. Because you keep talking about the defense. We're talking about offense.
With as good of a defense as they have in Minnesota, their offense is doing just enough to win games. The point is,
I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. The Vikings are an all-around team. You're gonna struggle to beat them.